Hey bookworms, and welcome back to the Book Nook podcast.
Oh, I love that name.
Get comfy and grab your reading glasses because today we're diving into the world of Iron Flame,
Okay.
which is the sequel to
Yes.
Fourth Wing.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
our dear listener, you finished Fourth Wing,
Uh-huh.
and now you're like,
Right.
is Iron Flame worth my time?
Yeah,
So that's what we're here to figure out today.
definitely.
You've sent us a ton of reviews, YouTube videos, blog posts.
Yes.
We even have a personal reading journey someone sent us.
Oh, wow.
And to kick things off,
Huh?
we have a YouTube review by Carrie the Snail.
Okay, I've heard of him.
He's known for his in-depth reviews, and he did not hold back
Oh, really?
on this one.
Okay.
He gave us 3 criteria for judging a good sequel.
Interesting.
And he said, Iron Flame didn't really hit all the marks.
All right, so what are these criteria then?
So Carrie believes a good sequel should challenge the characters.
Okay.
It should expand the plot, and it should develop the themes.
Yeah, those sound pretty standard, right?
Yeah, like it should feel like it's growing.
Exactly.
Like it's building on what was already there.
Mm.
And Carrie said while he liked the action and some of the plot twists,
Right.
he felt the characters were underdeveloped
Yeah.
and the plot expansions felt kind of forced.
Yeah, sequels can be tough.
Yeah.
I mean, you have this world that people already love,
Right.
and you have to stay true to that,
Right.
but you also need to bring something new.
Yeah, and Carrie actually compared this book to
Oh.
A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Oh, okay.
And he said that series did a much better job with its sequel.
Interesting.
Yeah, he was looking for that deeper emotional connection,
Mm-hmm.
but he felt like this one stayed a bit too surface level.
I can see that.
Yeah. So let's talk characters.
Okay, sure.
Carrie had a lot to say about Sloane and Katrina.
Who are they again? I'm sorry.
Sloane is Liam's younger sister,
Right. Okay.
and Katrina is from Zayden's past.
Oh, interesting.
And Carrie said these characters could have really shaken things up,
Yeah.
but their roles just fell flat.
I see. I see.
So let's start with Sloane.
Okay.
So she's, obviously grieving
Of course.
and angry after the events of Fourth Wing.
Right.
And Carrie felt there was a missed opportunity to explore her relationship
Oh.
with Violet.
Okay. Yeah.
Violet could have been dealing with guilt and responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
all while trying to connect with this grieving girl.
Right.
It would have added so much emotional weight to the story.
It's true.
Yeah,
Adding those layers of complexity makes the sequel so much better.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's Katrina,
Okay.
who comes in like halfway through the book
Okay.
and brings all this baggage from the Zooden's past.
So she's like the
Yeah, she's like the ex-girlfriend.
yeah.
And Carrie just felt like it was too predictable,
Mm.
like it was a cliche.
Right.
And he thought her being there from the beginning could have added a lot more tension.
To the relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
With Violet and Zayden right from the start.
Yeah, I get it.
And on top of all that,
Oh, there's more?
Carrie was just floored by the return of Jack Barlow.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
He just could not believe that Yarros brought back this character,
Huh.
who was already kind of a one-dimensional,
Right.
forgettable villain.
Yeah.
And Carrie felt like it was just a lazy way to raise the stakes
I see.
without really adding anything to the story.
So, like, bringing a character back from the dead,
Yeah.
it needs to have a purpose.
Exactly.
Otherwise, kind of cheapens the story.
Exactly. It felt arbitrary.
Yeah.
Like anyone could just come back now.
Right. It makes the world feel less real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And speaking of things feeling less real,
Oh.
this leads us to another point that Carrie brought up.
Okay.
What happened to Violet's Ehlers-Danlos syndrome?
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Yeah, he was really interested in how that would play into,
This book.
yeah, especially with Endarna's transformation.
Right. Because she's like,
She's facing limitations now.
right. She's like weaker, right?
Yes. After using all her power to save Violet.
Mm-hmm.
And Carrie thought there was this amazing opportunity
Hmm.
to connect their struggles.
Okay.
Both facing physical challenges,
Yeah.
adapting to new limitations.
Right.
It could have been such a powerful parallel,
That's true.
but it just never happened.
Wow. So he felt like that was a missed opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. He was so frustrated.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like setting up this connection and then just,
Dropping it.
yeah.
Wow.
And speaking of dropped connections,
Oh, no. What now?
Carrie had a lot to say about Violet and Xaden's relationship.
Okay. I mean, that's a big part of this series, right?
Oh, yeah, it's like the driving force.
Right.
But Carrie felt like their communication was just stuck in this loop.
A Lou.
Yeah, like a broken record.
Okay.
The same arguments about trust and transparency,
Mm.
Ace in keeping secrets, Violet needing to know everything.
Oh, so it got repetitive.
It got so repetitive
Yeah,
and frustrating.
I say
Like
that.
they weren't moving forward at all.
Yeah, sometimes conflict can be good,
Right.
but it needs to go somewhere. It needs to have consequences.
And Carrie actually had this great analogy, he said.
Okay, what is it?
He said, keep your nasty selves in your pants
Oh my goodness.
and talk to each other.
Wow.
And I was like, yes.
So true.
Just communicate.
Yeah, put it in simple terms.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to hear it like that.
Absolutely.
So before we get into even more of Carrie's thoughts,
Okay.
I wanted to remind you, lovely listeners, if you are enjoying this conversation,
Yeah.
make sure to subscribe to the Book Nook podcast
Yeah, come join us.
and leave us a review.
Yes, please.
It really helps other bookworms
Oh, true.
find us and join this amazing community.
For sure.
So what's next in our exploration?
Well, let's dive into world building.
Okay.
Carrie had some thoughts on rune science and the venin and wyvern.
Oh, yeah, he definitely did.
And we'll see if he thought Iron Flame found that balance between detail and intrigue.
Yeah, that's a tough one. All right, so world building.
Yes.
The foundation of any good fantasy novel.
Absolutely.
You want it to be immersive, but not too overwhelming.
Right, like you need enough information to make the world feel real.
Yeah, but not so much that it takes over the story.
Exactly. It's all about balance.
And Carrie had some thoughts about whether Iron Flame got that balance right.
Okay, so what did he think?
Well, he specifically talked about the rune science.
Rune science.
Yeah, and he felt like Yarros just dumped all this information on us.
Like an info dump.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
It was like a textbook in the middle of the story.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he found it jarring, especially because she was so vague about other things in Fourth Wing.
Yeah, like why suddenly get super detailed about this one thing?
Right, it felt out of place.
I see.
And then on the other hand,
Okay.
he was disappointed that we didn't learn more about the venin and wyvern.
Oh, yeah, those are like the main antagonists, right?
Exactly. But we still don't know much about them.
Like their motivation.
Yeah. Or their society, or even like their personalities.
Wow, so they're just kind of generic bad guys?
Pretty much, Carrie said you could swap them out for any other enemy.
And it wouldn't change the story.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, good antagonists should feel important to the story.
Right. They should be like real characters.
Exactly. Even if you don't agree with them,
Yeah.
they should still feel believable.
Okay, so we've heard a lot from Carrie.
Yes, we have.
But let's get some different perspectives now.
Yeah.
So we have a blog post from Fantasy Book Reviews.
Okay.
And a video from Rebecca Smith, who documented her reading journey.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It's really interesting to see how different people experience the book.
Yeah, it's like a virtual book club.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Fantasy Book Reviews actually praised the action and plot twists,
Okay.
which, to be fair, Carrie also mentioned those.
Yeah.
So it seems like a lot of people enjoyed those parts.
Action and plot twists are always exciting.
For sure. But Fantasy Book Reviews also has some criticisms.
Okay, what were those?
They thought the dialogue was repetitive,
Okay.
especially between Violet and Xaden.
Right.
And they felt like some of the character dynamics were cliche.
Oh, like we've seen them before in other stories.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to find that balance between familiar and fresh.
It really is.
Yeah.
Now, Rebecca Smith's reading journey was so unique.
Okay, tell me about it.
She decided to read Iron Flame in 5 different locations.
5 different locations.
Yeah, like her couch, her car,
Okay.
even her closet.
Her closet.
Yes, she said it helped her focus.
Wow, that's dedication.
I know, right?
I mean, I get it, though. Sometimes you need to, like...
Get away from distraction.
Exactly.
Especially with a book like this.
Right, you don't want any spoilers.
Exactly.
So what did you think of the book overall?
She really liked the balance of action and world building.
Okay.
And she even said she's not usually a big fantasy reader.
Interesting.
So maybe this book has a wider appeal than we think.
It's true. You never know what someone will connect with.
Yeah, reading is so personal. Absolutely.
Okay, so the big question.
Yes, the one everyone is wondering.
Should I read Iron Flame?
Right, is it worth it?
Well, Carrie's final verdict was disappointment.
Okay.
He said it felt like a handful of peanuts when he was expecting a feast.
Oh, wow, so he was left unsatisfied.
Yeah, he felt like something was missing,
I see.
and he's actually decided not to continue the series.
Wow.
So that's Carrie's take.
Okay.
But before we give our final thoughts,
Yeah.
we want to remind you, lovely listeners, to subscribe
Yes, we
to the
do.
Book Nook podcast and leave us a review.
We love hearing from you.
It really helps other bookworms find the show.
Definitely.
Okay, so back to the big question.
Yes.
Should you read it?
Well, it all comes down to what you're looking for in a book.
That's true.
What do you prioritize?
Right. Some people love world building.
Yeah, others want complex characters.
Or maybe you're all about the romance.
Exactly. So think about what you loved about Fourth Wing,
Yes.
and then see if those things are present in Iron Flame based on what we've discussed.
It's like trying on a pair of shoes.
Ooh, I like that analogy.
They might look great in the store,
Right.
but you won't know if they fit until you try them on.
And even if they don't fit you.
Someone else might love them.
Exactly.
So it's all about finding what works for you.
So if you're looking for action romance and a fast-paced plot,
Then Iron Flame might be for you.
but if you want deep character development and a really expanded world,
You might be disappointed.
yeah, so just keep that in mind.
But ultimately, trust your gut.
Yes.
Yeah.
Read some reviews
Do your research.
and then decide for yourself.
Exactly. Reading is a journey.
It is.
And everyone's journey is different.
So true. It's all about finding those books that you connect with.
Right. Those books that make you feel something.
Yeah. And Carrie's review actually brought up a really interesting question.
Oh, what's that?
What are your non-negotiables in a sequel?
That is a good question.
Yeah. What makes you love a sequel?
Right. Or what makes you want to throw it across the room?
Exactly. So think about that.
Yeah. What are your must-haves?
Yeah. Maybe you need amazing world building
Or complex characters?
or a slow burn romance.
Yeah. What makes a book special for you?
Once you know what you're looking for, it's easier to find those books.
It's like having a guide.
Yeah. Your own personal book compass.
Exactly.
And even if a book doesn't meet your expectations,
You can still learn something from it.
right, maybe you discover a new author or a new genre.
It's all part of the journey.
So go on your own Iron Flame investigation.
Yes. Read the reviews.
Weigh the opinions.
And trust your gut.
Exactly.
And if you do decide to read it,
Let us know what you think.
yes, we'd love to hear from you.
Connect with us on social media.
Leave a comment on our website.
We're always up for a good book discussion.
And if you enjoyed this deep dive into Iron Flame,
Make sure you subscribe to the Book Nook podcast,
we have new episodes every week.
exploring all kinds of books and genres.
So hit that subscribe button.
And join our amazing community.
And don't forget to leave us a review. It helps other bookworms find us.
Okay, so for those of you who are ready to read Iron Flame,
You can find a link to purchase it in our show notes.
happy reading, everyone.
And may your bookish adventures be amazing.
Thanks for joining us in the Book Nook.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.